If you've ever felt like dating or relationships with men are way more confusing than they should be, you are right. And it's not your fault. Most women were never shown what's actually going on inside a man's mind. So in this video, I will give you some brutally honest truths that may change the way you understand men and maybe even give you an unfair advantage. You will know faster who's serious about you, you will also connect deeper with the right man, and you will stop wasting time and energy on the wrong ones. My name is Geert, I'm an author. I also use the pen name Brian Knox. I write about dating, relationships and other things. And here's truth number one. He's either investing emotionally or he's using you. It's that simple. If he's not prioritizing your happiness, never making time, not being present because he's, for example, always on his phone, then he's just enjoying the relationship without actually being in one. Effort is supposed to come from both sides. Now, how do you spot emotional investment? Well, let's say you are telling him something about your day, something small. For example, how you finally bought new pillowcases because the old ones started to really bother you. Well, if he's listening and maybe even nodding like he gets why bad pillowcases are a legitimate problem, even though his pillows are still from 2015, that's emotional investment. But if instead he's scrolling through social media like he's trying to find the meaning of life, that's not it. And replying with nice while still staring at his phone doesn't count either. That's not presence, that's autopilot. Now, he can't be super attentive all the time, of course, but still you should feel like he cares about what's going on in your life. Truth number two, silence is your most powerful strategy. And, for example, it speaks louder than shouting ever will. A woman who can walk away in silence has more influence than the one who raises her voice to be heard. If he's not behaving the way you like, never chase, never beg, just stop giving him attention. He's supposed to become less important then, not more. And when we beg or get mad, we are making the other person more important. Silence teaches people very important lessons. Like, if you want my attention, you'd better be respectful, otherwise you don't get it. Your attention is your most precious currency in a relationship. Spend it wisely. See, a lot of women often think they need to say something. So when a man, for example, starts pulling away and takes too long to reply to a text message, a lot of women text again, hoping for any sign that he's still interested. Now, here's what happens when you go truly silent. Not passive-aggressive silent. Not, I hope he notices I'm not texting, silent. I mean actual silence, because he now became as important as an empty roll of toilet paper. You stop reaching out. You stop explaining. You stop giving updates to someone who's clearly not that interested. And at first, he probably won't notice, because he's too busy to notice. Busy doing whatever men do when they're not texting you back. Like standing in front of his fridge and trying to decide if that sauce that expired last year is still good, which happens often to some of us. But after a while, when your attention isn't so easy to get anymore, he may start to feel things. He may, for example, miss you because he now has the opportunity to feel it, thanks to your silence. So if a man is not behaving the way you like, see what happens when you give him silence because you made him much less important. Truth number three, his love isn't real if it disappears the moment you stop making him feel good. Real love isn't convenience. If he's only around when you are saying the right things, doing what he likes, laughing at his jokes, you're not in a relationship, you are just part of the entertainment. He's there for the experience. But the second you need something from him, or you dare to express an actual emotion, suddenly he has a lot going on and no time to see you. So if he disappears the moment your energy stops being easy, he was never staying in the first place. Truth number four, men who are good for you don't need convincing, and men who are bad for you cannot be convinced. Now, when a guy's unsure, when he's sending those vague, I'm not sure how I feel right now signals, here's what some women think. Well, maybe I just need to show him who I really am, and be patient, be understanding. He will see I'm different. And yes, maybe he will. But here's the problem. Even if he sees it, even if you are the best thing that ever happened to him since the invention of ChatGPT, he still may not act differently. Because it wasn't about you not being good enough. It was about him not feeling enough. And when a man doesn't feel enough, you will notice it. You will feel it in his hesitation, in the vague plans that never happen, in his excuses, and sometimes in him setting a world record for the slowest reply to a text message. Please remember, if he's a good guy for you, you will never have to convince him. Even if he has doubts or isn't ready for a relationship at first, he will find the way on his own. If it's a bad man for you, no matter how much you try to prove your worth or whatever else you try to do to please him, it will never be enough. So, next, truth number 5, a very special one. The more masculine energy you use in your relationship, the more passive a lot of men become. As you may know, masculine energy is about taking the lead, taking charge, making things happen, taking action, which is great in many areas of life. But if you choose to use it in your romantic relationship, you are turning him into the passenger, not the driver. He will become more and more passive, just along for the ride. And most of the time, this doesn't even start on purpose. You are just trying to make things flow. He's slow to respond, so you double text. He's vague about plans, so you suggest something. You want to move this relationship forward. But now suddenly, you are the one steering at all times. And before you know it, you decide everything. You are booking the restaurant, following up, wondering if Thursday at 8 still works, because Thursday is today and he still hasn't replied. And you may start noticing that the more you lead, the less he moves on his own. He may even stop trying. And if that's what you like, having the lead, then no problemo. But if you are sick and tired of initiating most of the conversations, most of the dates, and so on, step back and let him step forward. Because an interested man will and even needs this. And if he still doesn't, he wasn't interested. It's that simple. So, next, truth number 6. Men don't fall for the woman who plays hard to get. They fall for the woman who doesn't need to play at all. We all have a soft spot for confidence, both men and women, and the attractive kind of confidence is not pretending you don't care, it's actually not caring too much about things like someone's attention and approval and validation. There's a big difference. When you feel confident, you're not anxiously waiting for his attention. You're not changing yourself around him just to make things work. Getting his attention is nice. His validation, pretty cool. But it's not like oxygen. You're not going to jump through hoops to get it, and you're definitely not playing any games. Also remember, you never gain a man's respect by being agreeable, by changing for him. You earn it by being you. If a man is with you, he may be attracted by your looks, but he stays for your mind, your standards, your personality, and your strength, which he will never get to see if you would fight for his attention or try to please him or play games. The women men chase after look and act like they don't need to be chased, because they don't. Which brings me to truth number 7. The moment you are afraid to lose him, you have already lost yourself. Because if you are afraid to lose him, you have a scarcity mindset, and it makes you act out of fear, not strength. You may second guess yourself, you may overtext, overthink, overgive. And ironically, it's exactly that scarcity mindset that will end up pushing him away. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Truth number 8. His consistency should always be more important than his charm, or even the chemistry you feel. Because there are a lot of men you could be attracted to, or feel that spark with. But only a few will consistently show you they are truly worthy of your time. And the key word here is consistently. Because any guy can be charming on a good day. He can say something sweet, hold your hand, make you feel seen for a moment, and then disappear. Or start texting less and make fewer plans. That's why you always want to look at the pattern. What keeps happening? Not what he did just once, when he was feeling good, had the time, and possibly just wanted something from you. And if this usual pattern isn't what you want more of, then that's very valuable information. In other words, next, truth number 9. A man who's into you won't leave you confused. Men may not always be great communicators, but when a man really wants you, you will feel it. You won't have to ask your friends for a team meeting to figure out what he might have meant in that text he sent. Confusion is always a no, period. Now, there are usually 2 types of men that create confusion. Group A, this man does like you, but he's holding back. Because last time he showed real interest to a woman, he got hit with the "let's just be friends" speech. So this time he thinks, right, I will play it cool. I will stay neutral. That'll work. No, it probably won't. What he should have learned was, well, that woman wasn't the right one for me. The right one won't punish me for showing her I like her. But he learned the wrong lesson, and now you are dealing with the result. Group B are the ones who don't actually like you, but want something from you. And so they act just interested enough. Not too much, not too little, just enough to keep you hanging around. So if it's been more than 3 weeks and you still don't know where you stand, chances are he's from Group B. Number 10. The right man will make you feel chosen. Not like you constantly have to earn his love. Love isn't supposed to feel like a competition where you are running against his exes, his job, his friends, his hobbies, and his ego. When you are with the right person, you know. So does he. So here too, no confusion. As Confucius would say, nothing, because he won't be there. Truth number 11. His effort after messing up tells you everything. Because anyone can say, I'm sorry. Some people have said it so many times they should put it on a t-shirt. But an apology without change, that's not an apology. That's just damage control. So don't look at the words, look at what happens next. If he actually cares about you and he knows he messed up, his behavior will shift. His energy will increase. He's trying to make it up to you and he doesn't want to repeat his mistake. So if you see that, that's an awesome sign. Alright, I will wrap it up here for this video. I have more things like this in my other videos on this channel, also on brianknox.com and definitely in my books. You can find them on Amazon by typing my pen name Brian Knox in the search box. I hope you found a lot of value in this video, and hey, thank you for still being here at the very end of the video. I really appreciate it. I love it when you do that, and so I hope to see you in another video.